What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. In case you don't know, Tasty Tuesday is a show where we talk about gaming news of the prior week. My name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
And we have 4 topics to talk about. It's a smaller week than last week. But yeah, let's get into it. So, our first bit of news, APB, the game that originally came out as a kind of Grand Theft Auto Online before Grand Theft Auto Online, pay for subscription game, eventually turned into a free-to-play game.
Almost instantly because it failed very quickly, for good reason. The game's fun, but it wasn't a pay-for game. Is getting a facelift. They're apparently working on updating the engine. Do you have any details on that? It's adding new lighting. They're doing minor updates to models, so they just look better. Some colors are a little more vibrant, give a little more life to the city. Because San Pedro, was that what that city's called?
I think so.
It was kind of dark and just dingy.
Yeah. Well, and I watched a video on the upgrade, and it looked like the lighting looked a lot better. Darker areas are darker where light was. It looked better. Me and you actually both played APB when it first came out, day one, paid for the monthly subscription fee, and played it quite a bit. That's actually where RFPD comes from, if any of you know one of our clan names, Rico Fuck Police Department, which came from a certain character in APB, and it's kind of lived on since. But we both liked the game enough, but it was missing something. And then since it came out free to play, we haven't really played it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to just kind of maybe take a jump back into it. But APB, if I remember correctly, was very lopsided. Like, they didn't have any kind of separation in between like brand new players and vetted players.
Definitely.
So like vetted players would always just mow people down because their guns are stronger, guns are better. Their not abilities, but their cars were better, just shit like that.
I think APB is a great example of a game that was ahead of its time. It had a really good. It was something that we all wanted already, but it wasn't ready to happen yet.
Yeah.
Because APB was like the first open world multiplayer versus
cops and robbers
type game that existed, and I would argue Grand Theft Auto 5 has done it better, of course, with a better budget and a team that's been doing it for so fucking long. But it had a lot of really good ideas, but it kind of was lacking in other areas. But it is really cool to see that support, to see an engine have an upgrade. I always like seeing a developer not really give up on their property and, in fact, put work into it to essentially make it more modern feeling, because you don't want to just kind of drop that IP. That's money that you could potentially be making again.
Yeah, I guess that the free-to-play model must be working out for them.
If people are still playing it, yeah. Every once in a while on Steam, I'll see somebody hop on there. Does the new engine interest you at all? Does it make you want to try the game?
It makes me kind of want to jump back into it again. Fuck, my characters might still be there because I transported them over to Steam. So
from the original
I
APB?
had a Steam.
Because I had to remake Rico Fuck. Rico Justice was his real name.
Oh, then maybe I had to make my guy too.
But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that they're doing that. It's exciting. It makes me... I wasn't even thinking about the game. So if anything, it made me think about the game. I'll probably check it out. Will I stay with it? Probably not. There's so many games nowadays that do what that game was trying to do better because of the times. And it's a good effort. Hopefully it works out for them and the core audience that's already playing the game. For our second bit of news, Blade and Soul, the game that finally has come out here, free-to-play MMO through, NCSoft, came out last month, January, and in its first week had 1 million players, is now at 2 million players, active players. What do we think of that?
That's pretty intense. That's pretty gnarly, considering WoW's at 5.5, and that's considered the king of MMOs.
Yeah, and all the ones that were under WoW were like in the 2 to like 4 million area. I mean, Final Fantasy I think is at 4 or 5 right now, or 3 or 4.
Guild
or
Wars
something
2
like
is 2 or 3.
2 or something like that. So it's really insane to see a fucking
free play MMO just take.
It's not even a new game either, because that game came out in Korea years ago. I think it's exciting. MMOs, in my opinion, are kind of dead. People still play them, of course, but like the excitement for them is not there. No one's talking about them. I mean, like survival games, I think kind of took over that area. Games like Ark, MOBAs took up that excitement.
Final Fantasy. I mean, there hasn't really been a whole lot of big time, like I guess ESO, but I mean like nothing that like.
There's been a bunch of disappointments constantly. AAA disappointments.
Exactly.
ESO, Knights of the Old Republic, or the Old Republic. There's another one, WildStar, which were all good, but no games are really kind of pushing what MMOs could do nowadays. I mean, like we're kind of still stuck in the same tropes as MMOs have always had.
Yeah. What was that sci-fi, TV, MMO crossover? Had guns.
Starts with a D.
Anyway, that I would almost consider not doing that well either. I mean,
The Secret World came out. It was underwhelming in the response from people. I liked it actually. It's probably one of the better newer MMOs that I've enjoyed. But yeah, with the excitement of MMOs waning, it's really cool to see a game that's only been out for a month, pretty much, hit 2 million so quickly. I actually haven't got to check it out yet, though. Chevy has been playing it. He played the Korean version for a little bit, and he's been playing. I think he's been playing the American version. But it looks cool. I'm interested. But with 2 million people playing it, I feel like I kind of have to check it out. If that many people are kind of saying, "Yeah, fucking, it's cool."
Especially like, I mean, I guess there must have been at least a little bit of a following if. Within the first week, 1 million people were fucking playing.
Yeah, it's crazy. There had to have been some kind of excitement. I mean, this game was being talked about back in like 2008. I remember watching videos of it out of Korea, and they were like, "It's coming soon, coming soon, coming soon." And then eventually, I was like, "It's not coming out ever." And then finally, it comes out now, 2016, and apparently the hype didn't die.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really survived that weird development hell. I mean, if it was even in it.
Well, in Korea it wasn't, but transporting or developing it for here,
yeah. It just it didn't fail because I mean it looks good too. So I mean,
it still looks good, yeah. I mean, graphically, it's crazy.
That it took, you figure there might be like a degradation in graphics.
I remember when it was coming out originally, I was like, "There's no way that's gonna run on fucking computers. Like it looks too good." And nowadays, I'm like, that just looks pretty good. Yeah. Like there's better looking games nowadays. But so that's just a testament to the amount of work they put into it to make it look just really good, play really well. I hope it translates well here, and hopefully it has some stuff to be excited about in MMOs because most MMOs is talk to a dude, go do a quest, come back, return in until you get to the end game, and then you're just doing dungeons constantly, which is fun. But there's so many MMOs. It's such an oversaturated market.
It is now.
I think that's why it's mostly kind of
dying down.
Quiet. Yeah, until something like EverQuest Next comes out, because that one's actually kind of changing things up. Really excited for that one. Anything else on that? All right, on to our third bit of news. Watch Dogs 2 is releasing next year. I had no fucking idea they were even working on it. I knew they were gonna make one, but I didn't know it was coming out before April of next year.
Yeah, so most likely within a year we'll have a Watch Dogs 2, which is crazy to think because I mean that was fucking fast. Like
very fast.
I've heard nothing. Like all I heard was Watch Dogs 1 was very underwhelming, which it was, and it sold decently, but people didn't like it. I mean,
it sold fine, yeah, but it was very overwhelming.
Negative
people being critical
issues,
of it.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, they weren't being picky. I mean, a lot of the shit was true. I mean,
well, there's a lot of problems with the original Watch Dogs. They showed so much that when I played the game, I bought the game for $60, never beat it. I think I got like halfway through and I was just done. But they showed the game so much that when I played it, I felt like I had already played it, first off. Secondly, a lot of the stuff they showed was not in the game, especially graphically. And everything they did was fine. The game's fine. But it doesn't excel in anything. The hacking could be better. The driving could be better. The world could be better. Everything could be better. There's not one thing in that game that was like, this is good. And you need that.
That was very textbook bait and switch, like from what they showed at E3 to what we got. Like, because I watched that fucking video that came out at E3 fucking 7 or 8 times. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Him like doing the slow-mo over the car, and shit like that.
It was so
and-
cool that when the game came out and the reviews were like, "This game's kind of okay," I was like, I'm gonna gamble on it and go. You guys maybe you guys don't like stuff I like, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. Maybe I'll love it. There's some games I've played that people didn't like so much, but then I played. I was like, it's cool,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I played it and I realized I lost that gamble.
it it just felt lazy.
Yeah.
Like not lazy, like they didn't do, like it's a game that works just fine, it plays fine, but like it I don't know. I don't want to talk about Watch Dogs 1 so much. Are you excited about the prospect of Watch Dogs 2? It doesn't seem too soon, and what would you like to see them do with Watch Dogs 2?
Doesn't seem too soon, because man, that's been almost 2 years since Watch Dogs came out.
It's been a while, yeah.
So I mean, because I played on Xbox One. That was back when I still played my Xbox One. But I don't think it's too soon. They really need to improve on almost everything in the game. Like you said, it doesn't do anything bad, but it doesn't do anything amazingly. So if they just would improve on everything in the game, that'd be fine for me. Will I buy it? Fuck no. Just because, I mean, I'm gonna.
Even
have
if a
to
sweet trailer
really-
comes out, looks fucking awesome. It's like they fixed everything from the trailer.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
but
run out and buy it.
I'm not gonna be that fucking.
What would it take you to buy it?
You know what? This might be one of the first times I ever like look at reviews or like really intent on a bunch of gameplay shit. 'Cause I mostly stay away from all that. And but yeah, I mean it's interests me because I like the idea, but
Yeah, me too.
It has to be done well. So this might be the one time I'm fucking like looking for shit to validate my opinion on it.
Yeah, for me, I need the game to look like they saw what they did right in the last game, which was everything. But really, like I need to see a jump. I can't see like this is Watch Dogs 2. It's what you liked from Watch Dogs 1, but with better graphics. Like it needs to be a significant jump, and reviews will absolutely determine if I'm even interested. And because I already disregarded the reviews the first time, I typically make my own decision. But just like talking to a friend about games and stuff, reading a review is a good guideline because they've played the game, and you read many reviews, not just one, and you get a good average of what people
Do
are
your
saying
research, yeah.
about it. And if people are all of a sudden like, "Hey, they fucking fixed everything. This game is what the first one wanted to be," I would be slightly interested. But I mean, they'd have to add fucking multiplayer. They'd have to have less chase sequences. At first, it was neat, but like after a while, every character was like, they'd look back and it's like, "Hey," and then you start chasing them, and then you have to run for like 5 miles and tackle them.
And they run the same speed
And
as you
it was
do,
Assassin's
it's
Creed.
not-
Because Assassin's Creed has that.
At least in Assassin's Creed, though, you can find ways to catch them.
Yeah.
This one, there was no way to climb over shit.
You
or
just
anything
run
like
down
that.
alleyways until you get close enough, and then you tackle them.
Yeah.
They just have to add a shitload of stuff. They have to fucking up it by a lot. Normally, I don't expect that from everybody, but I expect it from them because the lackluster that the last game was.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not interested, which is weird. Like I read that, I was like, oh, it's interesting, but I could be. I'm not so put off by it. It's hard for me to just be like, oh fuck them, because people have recovered from crazy shit. People have done the opposite too, like Fear. They've made amazing games ahead of the time, then they made a shitty sequel. So,
Yeah.
you know, the opposite could happen where they make a shitty game and then make a good game. So yeah. Are you guys excited for Watch Dogs 2? Did you play the original one? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious about that. And for our last bit of news, Overwatch, the game that a lot of people are anticipating, super hyped about, is bringing in level progression and loot. The loot will be cosmetic and color-based stuff, so it's not going to change the core game. But yeah, as you play, you'll get loot at the end of every match, and yeah, you'll level up. Also, the way you gain XP is for every, I think so many seconds, you get a percentage of XP. So you're constantly accruing XP. Everybody is. So it's to incentivize you staying in the game. But you get a bonus for winning.
Oh, that's cool.
So there is a reason to
So
win.
there's a reason to win. Instead
But
of everybody just
everybody's
hanging
getting
out.
experience because they want to kind of get away from that who's the best mentality. They want it to be accessible, but they want to still reward skill. What do you think of that? Because I know that's new to you, and we'll talk about it.
I always enjoy like customization.
Yeah.
It's always kind of cool to like find a piece or find something, a color scheme that's different than what everybody else has. That way, you know, it gives a sense of like belonging to your character. Like, that's my guy.
Well, the cosmetics are neat because, like, for instance, the healer, one of the healers in the game, looks angelic, but one of the costumes is completely different. It's not just a color scheme, different looking thing.
Like
She looks like a
different
devil.
Skin, kind of.
Yeah, it's a completely
Yeah.
different skin. So you kind of have that flair of like, oh, I got this. You don't have that.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really, really neat. And then the XP thing is something I've never really heard about before.
Me neither.
I think it is brilliant to not go the way of like League of Legends or anything like that, and just make the winners get a shitload of experience and losers get almost none, and kind of giving a reason to stay in the fucking game. It's neat.
Well, the whole thing with this that's really interesting is when the game originally was announced, that and what's the guys who make Borderlands? What's their game?
Oh, Overwatch, and we just did the fucking beta not too long
Yeah.
ago.
Anyway, both those games kind of remind me of a Team Fortress type game. They seem like they're trying to get a
Team
piece
Fortress
of that pie.
kind of MOBA.
Yeah. But now with this progression they've added and rewards, I feel like they're expanding their reach to people who are playing like Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's smart, it's genius. Without changing, how the game plays and people getting better stuff, it's just kind of you get stuff, but it's not going to change things. But at its core, still the same game. But I don't know. It's genius, and the experience thing is really interesting because, like you said, I've never really played a game that does that. I'd love to see how this works because I almost feel like more people are going to implement that if it works well.
Yeah.
A game like Battlefield could really
benefit from
it because those games last fucking forever.
And how large the maps are and shit like that. And there's times, and it's not even of my own accord, like I'm being a bitch and I'm just running around the outside of the map like hoping to see someone.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is times when you have lulls, and those lulls are huge. Like, it's just you're just trying to find someone to kill. It's not happening,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
So
Yes, you're not being punished.
Yeah.
For not being able to find people, or even being killed a lot. Like as long as you're playing the game, you're leveling like everybody else.
Exactly.
And your level almost dictates the amount of time you put into the game versus how good you are.
Exactly. Yeah, because most games are action or a reaction to what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in Call of Duty, you see the very high fucking levels, and you're like, to me though, that just means like, fuck, you put a shitload of time into this game still.
We see people in Call of Duty all the time with a really high fucking level, especially in Black Ops 3 where people are like level 200 something, 300 something.
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And they'll still suck. It just
Yeah.
means they played the game a lot.
Exactly. And so like I don't really put a whole bunch of stock into that anyway. The only one I do put stock in is that fucking Halo one, because the higher level you are, the better you are.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do well, you drop levels. So,
Yeah.
but back on topic, it's neat. I'm actually excited for Overwatch.
Me too.
I really want to play it.
I went from interested to excited for it. I will
Yeah.
be buying it probably first day.
I mean, and even if they gave them even if they gave the cosmetics like your run speed's fucking 4% faster or something like that, then I mean, like that'd be cool too. But
that'd be cool. But I feel like they're really going for that competitive market. They're going to be going for MLG, I believe. So they have to keep it balanced, Counter-Strike-esque.
Yeah.
Where everything is the same, everybody has the same equal abilities, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really smart move. Because for me, when I play games like this, I want unlockables. Like it's almost hard for me to play a game where I don't. That's why I don't play MOBAs.
Yeah, there's nothing to unlock.
Except for customizable or
Yeah.
aesthetic stuff like that, but still like
or characters.
there's just
if you've played the game for a million fucking years.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, fuck, it takes forever to get anywhere in League of Legends to get like another character or to do
Yeah.
anything like that. So
So overall, does that from where
Exciting.
you were at, does that pique
It
your
did.
interest more?
Oh, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
hmm
Me too.
I'm always a fan of more options. I'm always a fan of
Me too.
extra shit.
So you think you'll be buying this game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. Let us know in the comments below. Are you interested in Overwatch? I'm sure you are. Does the leveling and aesthetic up our rewards? Does that up the game's hype for you? Let us know in the comments below.
So that's going to do it for this week's Tasty Tuesday. Join us tomorrow. We'll have a Just a Tip on Firewatch.
Definitely check that out.
Super fun.
Full playthrough. It's an hour and a half. So
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. Come see us on Twitter and Tumblr at Tasty Loot Gaming. Come see us on our Tasty stream. It's Sleep Division on Twitch. And I'm Josh.
I'm Seth.
And it's been a pleasure. And I hope you guys have a good day.
Thanks for watching, guys.